I've seen so many business owners spend months of their time to build a website. Leave the website alone. You don't need really a website.
I am also wowed by that because how do they go to buy your product then?
Use them. I mean, if you have 500,000 people seeing your content, how's that going to help you? Unless you're able to convert 500,000 into money. You tell the audience that they need to go to that landing page, what we call the lead magnet, something of value that people would want to sign up for. And when they sign up, they give us their email address. They give us their contact information. They give us the permission to speak to them one-to-one. And at the bottom of the funnel is the CAC.
There is a funnel that is involved, and everything that Naja just explained, he explained so succinctly and in a way that actually worked.
The more the internet gets crowded with AI bots and avatars and stuff, the more important that we show our humanity. Otherwise, we will be nobody very soon. In principle, we have to be on camera. There's no doubt about it.
Mic drop.
All right.
Good evening and welcome.
Good evening. Yeah, because we're recording at around 6 p.m.
Yeah.
right now, Sunday. Oof, what a week.
What a week.
Yeah, so we're bringing you today up to speed with our week 6 of recording our podcast every week. So every week on Sunday, we are recording a session. Whatever the situation, we are doing it. Whether sometimes we're in different types of moods and whatever, but we make ourselves make it because we feel that commitment is very important. It's a value that we cherish.
Yes, it is. At the end of the day, consistency is key over anything. So it's important that we stay consistent. And sometimes, as Naja said, we're going to have great days. Sometimes we're going to have bad days. But at the end of the day, we love each other. We want everything to work out for the best. We have the best intentions in mind. And when we're consistent, that's how we'll be able to share our ups and downs with everyone.
And we're doing it African style.
Doing it
today.
African style today. Cheers to
Why this is an African style?
because in when I was in Africa, they would use these kinds of things to like pour stuff into. So these would be the glasses. They didn't have like, or at least that I remember, they didn't have like real like cups. So, or champagne glasses. It was all this.
Do they drink alcohol there?
Yes, they have like beer, they have boxed wine. It's really terrible wine, but boxed wine. And that's how you have a good time.
And you have shared your entire story about your African journey in last week's podcast. So I'll probably have a card up there in the video that link people to that episode so they can learn about your Africa adventure.
That is so cool. I didn't even know you could do that.
Oh, you could do that. It's YouTube.
That's cool.
And for those on the podcast, maybe Spotify or Apple Podcast, they probably need to look it up. So it's just the previous episode of that one. And you had told it all, I believe. Do you think that episode covered everything from your journey in Africa?
I mean, not everything, but I think it sums it up pretty well.
Yeah.
So,
Cool. So how was your week?
wow, what a week. So this week I graduated. I graduated with my master's in organizational leadership. My husband was so awesome. He took pictures of me. He was really my paparazzi. He edited all the photos and he brought me flowers, and so it was just so sweet. And then my mom was there, my family was there, and it was just so wonderful. And Naja put it all together. So
Your
thank
friend
you.
Tanya was there too.
Tanya, shout out to Tanya Oatman. She's really the goat. But yes, everybody was there, and you helped put it all together. So thank you so much.
So you got this master's in organizational leadership from the University of Redlands. How does that you feel going to help you with your career?
That's a great question. So as we all know, I'm here working on having a business with my amazing husband, and I think it helps to level me up so I could be on almost, not quite to his level, but closer to his level. And I think overall, like, as you learn about leadership and as you learn about different companies and what they've done and what were their challenges, and, how did they succeed? How did they get so famous and popular? It helps you understand what kind of leader you want to be, not only for the people that you lead, but also for yourself. What's going to make you proud? I know for me, one thing that I really admire about you, Naja, is that you are just naturally a servant leader. You bring people up with you. You teach people. You're a natural teacher. You help people out. You want to go out of your way. And so that is what we identify as a servant leader. I want to strive to be more like that. And I don't think I'm naturally as much like that as you are. There is also something else called purposeful leadership, where when it comes to this type of leader, they're very concise, they're very clear as to what it is that they're trying to convey. They want to make sure that everybody is on the same page, and that's a really good thing to be able to do, but these people are also not always the most empathetic, right? And so every single person on this earth has areas of opportunities, and they also have their strengths. And so part of my journey has been identifying what my strengths as a leader has been and what I can do to hone um into to be a better leader and to be the type of leader that I want to be. So I said that I want to be more of a servant leader like you are. Well, that takes me putting aside my ego, right? That takes me putting myself in the shoes of my team member and the challenges that they're overcoming at that moment, and not just focusing on what my needs are. That's a really big component of a servant leader that I don't always naturally have. So,
But I think you're a great leader. I mean, you care a lot about your team, and I can see it every day, like how you're very like every moment of celebration, you try to make it special to your team, and you're very close to them. You like to be, as as I say, the three Fs: firm, friendly, and fair.
firm, friendly, fair. That's a good one. Uh, I try. I try, but there's always room for improvement, and
That's
I'm
normal.
growing every
Everybody's
day.
everybody's that. Like,
So, so yeah, that was the majority of my week, or like the highlight of my week. Another thing that I learned this week was how to use QuickBooks. Naja, you taught me how to use them, and so he did the thing of what we've talked about in the past, which is the teach, test, and trust method. So right now I'm still in the testing mode. He taught me how to do it. He's testing to make sure, asking me questions, observing, making sure that I'm doing things correctly. Over time, I'm going to gain his trust to make sure that I can do it all by myself.
hopefully, she'll earn the title of CFO as well, in addition to other titles that she already has.
Thank you so much. So yes, I think going back to your question, what do I want to gain with my organizational leadership masters? I want to be the best leader possible, and I want to develop myself into the type of leader that you would be proud to call a partner.
Right, but do you think it's gonna help you practically in your career?
I think so. I think a lot of there's a lot of theories when it comes to a master, or when it comes to any degree. There's a lot of practicing of the theories and delving into the different thoughts, and it can even get a little bit philosophical, if you will. So it's not always this is a this is going to be a kinesthetic project that you have to complete by a certain amount of time. So there isn't a lot of that. It's more you're practicing more of that in your day to day in your job or in your career. So, I've been a lot more aware of different types of leaders, and I've been a lot more aware of what type of leadership styles I do not want to emulate.
But in terms of like a lot of people think that, oh, I need a master's degree on my resume so I can be qualified to get a director position or a VP position or, to grow in that company. Do you think from your experience from the companies that you've worked with in the past, do you think that right now this is a thing? Like if you are a regular employee and you get a master's, you will be more offered promotions and stuff, or you think it does not matter?
If I'm being honest,
Please be honest.
you want me to be fully honest?
Fully honest.
I don't think it really matters.
It does not matter.
I think it helps and in the fact of like, okay, there's that consistency this person has really put in time to learn and to grow. But at the end of the day, I I see from what I've noticed is experience counts more than learning or a degree. I do know leaders that do not have degrees and they're successful, they're doing well. Though I do think that there is areas for improvement that if they were to have gone through a certification or through an actual program l similar to what I did, I think there'd be a lot of learnings, and I think that their leadership dynamic would change. But enough about me. What about you, Naja? How was your week?
A lot. A lot this week. Yeah, I think the highlight of it would be the workshop I did with Harupa Valley. So the city invited us to present. The topic was marketing on a tight budget. And so, yeah, I delivered a workshop there for a lot of business owners, and it was pretty well received, I would say.
I was so proud of you. I saw how well you did, and when you came back home and you were telling me about it, it was very well received. And so I'm curious, what were some of the questions that some of these entrepreneurs, because I know there were a lot of them, and I saw that they were taking pictures and asking you a lot of questions. What were some of the questions that they asked you?
So the presentation was about how to market your business if you have a tight budget. So I started by explaining what is the opposite of that. What is marketing on an expensive budget or a not a tight budget looks like? And marketing on an open budget, let's say, just like the brands I used to work with back when I was in Dubai, they usually have massive marketing budgets. And doing marketing with people who have massive budgets is easy because you throw a lot of darts and then one will stick and that's good. But for small businesses starting out, they really need to get to the money as fast as possible. They cannot just say, oh, we spent $1 million on a brand awareness campaign that resulted of zero sales. Big brands can do that. And this is good for them long term. They can bombard the market with their name. That's why if I tell you, okay, what's the first bag brand that you have, Chanel and these big brands top of your mind because they have bombarded the market with their advertising. But for small businesses, they cannot afford that. So how to do marketing for a small business, that was the topic. And they start explaining the small wins that any business can achieve on a very very tight budget. Some of them are literally zero budget, like optimizing your Google business profile. If you're a local business, you have to be present on Google. You have to nurture with reviews. You have to be found easily. I also, the first slide was ditch the website, and that's sets everybody like in shock, because people think that as soon as I start a business, I need to have a website. And trust me, I've seen so many business owners spend months of their time, a lot of money, a lot of resources to build a website. And so my slide was like, ditch the website, leave the website alone. You don't need today, you don't need really a website. But I made a clear distinction between having a web presence versus a website.
So how do you distinguish the two? And I mean, in my head, I am also wowed by that because how do they go to buy your product then?
So having digital presence is fundamentals and is the most important. So have a digital presence. But today we have all the tools at our disposal that the website is just one little element in that mix of digital tools that we can use to establish a brand's digital presence. So a lot of us, for example, if you are, give me a business, give me any type of business in your mind.
Coffee shop.
Okay, so let's say you're a coffee shop. The first thing is that you need to have a Google business profile. Because when me and you want to find a coffee shop, what's the first thing we do? We pick up Google and we write coffee near me. So coffee near me prompts Google to search Google Maps. And Google Business Profile is basically a profile, kind of like Facebook profile, on a platform that is called Google Maps. Google Maps is a platform. Is it considered a social media? It's a map, and then you need to define that spot on the map that says it's Diana's coffee shop. And so the first thing is you create a profile on Google Business Profile, Google Maps. And then you start optimizing that profile. Because when people need to look for coffee near me, the algorithm of Google will start ranking, will start putting those coffee shops in order according to certain criteria. One of them is reviews. One of them is how well maintained your coffee shop is. Are you updating it constantly? Is there photos? Is it verified? All of these play a role in having your spot appears on top. Now we have gained that profile with $0 without having a website. We go to the next step. Okay, social media. When people spend hours of their time scrolling through Instagram, through watching YouTube videos, even the living room TV right now in most of the houses does not have broadcast TV. It has YouTube and Netflix. So a lot of people are watching and are consuming content on these platforms for hours. So the attention of the people is there. And so if you want to reach out, if you want to tell people about your business, you need to optimize your profile on social media and YouTube as much as possible, because YouTube is the second largest search engine. So when people go look for things, some people use Google, some other people use YouTube, and the younger generation use Instagram and TikTok. So they use it to search for information. So yeah, you optimize your profiles on all of these platforms, you establish a very strong digital presence. And then later, once you have an audience, whether on social media or you have a verified good Google business profile, then if you want to create a website, then it might work. But even then, I suggest a landing page that can convert all this traffic into email. Because once you have a database of a lot of people who are interested in your coffee shop and you have their email and phone number, then you can, with one click, send them messages or send them emails and have a conversation with them one-to-one versus just advertising on social media one-to-many.
But I think here's my question. What is the difference between a website and a landing page? Aren't they the same thing?
The website, generally speaking, is defined as a place where that houses all of the information about your company. And so there's multiple pages within a website. The traditional website will say home, about us, our products and services, contact us. And, the bigger the company, the more pages they add, right? Like careers and resources and all sorts of things, which is eventually you will need as a company. But not when you're starting out. not when you're a small business, not when you are verifying or when you are scarce on time and money. You don't want to waste your time building all of these exhaustive pages as if you are the big company that you're trying to portray yourself you are. But if you're not, that's totally fine. As long as we are able to capture the contact information of people who are already interested in us. That's the problem. There's a lot of like cash on the table. They just need to pick. And a lot of people just try to go around and around trying to mimic these big companies. But the cash is on the table. If you have established strong social media presence and you start like having traction on social media, now you have an audience. This audience is kind of like a filter. You put this audience in a giant, what do you call that? Funnel.
This is an inside joke. And nobody knows what a funnel is until Naja explains what a
Right.
funnel is.
So just okay, let me explain that. So you asked about the difference between landing page and the website. And I mentioned that website is something that can be helpful down the line as your company grows, but it's not fundamental. It's not so important to the business. But landing page is, and here's why. Because when you establish a large social media following, Instagram, YouTube, etc., you take that following and you need to use them. I mean, if you have 500,000 people seeing your content and you have a coffee shop, how's that going to help you? Unless you're able to convert 500,000 into money. It's basically there's a steps there to take that audience and make money from it. And coffee shop is just one example, but put any business and then the same thing applies. You have audience and you have money, and how you bridge the gap, how you bring an audience, social media to make money from it. And here's how. You tell the audience that they need to go to that landing page to download something important for them, to access something premium. In your content, you're giving them a lot of value. But if you want to bundle all of that value in a book, the book becomes what we call the lead magnet. You take the audience to a landing page so that they can give you their email address and phone number. And so you give them back a lead magnet. This lead magnet could be a book, a guide, a checklist. It could be a free workshop, a free webinar, a free event that they can attend and have some food. Like we're planning to have some sort of workshops like that. So we want to invite people to come and attend those workshops, learn. So these are free stuff that are higher level than the social media content. The social media content is kind of limited. You can only serve a video for like 1 minute if you're Instagram. If you're on YouTube, you can serve longer form videos, but it's still not immersive, not like a workshop where you can ask questions and interact and stuff like that. And so the workshop becomes what we call the lead magnet, something of value that people would want to sign up for. And when they sign up, they give us their email address. They give us their contact information. And the most importantly, they give us the permission to speak to them one-to-one. And after we do that, now let's say you have 500,000 people in your audience in social media. You tell them about the opportunity to get that lead magnet. Let's say 100,000 of them say yes. So now you took in, again, it's a funnel. The reason why it's called a funnel, because the bigger on the top of the funnel, there's more people. And as you take them step by step, it's kind of like narrowing and filtering.
To the people that you really want to speak to, that are relevant to.
Exactly. And at the bottom of the funnel is the cash. Because once they sign up for that workshop, we're going to give them a lot of value. But let's say 100 people sign up for the workshop, 500,000 people in your audience on social media. They will go to let's say 50,000 people on your email list. From those, you invite them to that workshop, 100 people will attend the workshop. So see okay, from the 100 people who attend the workshop, maybe 10 will buy your product. And so that's how you convert from social media content to email list. We put them in our CRM system, to having them engage and take us seriously. And from those who take us seriously, then we can make a sale.
Wow. People, you've heard it here first. I'm telling you, Naja is so bright. Steal his homework. Steal what he does.
That was not an advertising. That was
I
not.
know.
That was very, very natural. She was not advertising or promoting our own services.
No, definitely not promoting, but this is really good information for anybody that wants to get more customers, right? That there is a funnel that is involved, and everything that Naja just explained, he explained so succinctly and in a way that actually works. So this is what we are using ourselves. And I just want to take a moment also to pat ourselves on the back because we just got 175,000 views on YouTube. And Naja got the little certification on LinkedIn and everything. So I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you to everybody who has supported us. We could not have done it without you. And we're just so grateful for the people that we do get to work with on the daily.
For the people who are spending time with us, I mean, that's all. We appreciate that. We don't take it for granted.
Yes, it means a lot.
Yeah.
Now, honey, you shared some really valuable information. Are there any other questions that the guests or the participants that were part of the workshop that they asked you?
Yeah, so I was going to get to that.
Oh, so sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's fine. I think you want to ask your questions is more concerned about the people attending. What was their questions? And their questions are relevant to what I presented, and that's why I started with what I presented. It's kind of like to follow the order of how things work in these workshops. You present, and then they ask questions about what you present that is relevant to them. And so, yeah, so I talked about uh, the strategy there, and I talked about, and then one interesting question that I received was, uh, she says that she is not comfortable appearing on camera, and she knows that YouTube is the second largest search engine. She knows how important it is, social media to be is. But she says, well, what if I don't like to be on camera? What then? And she was expecting me to come up with a solution to that. I thought it's relevant to ask her further investigatory invest to investigate further, I would say. And so I asked her, what prevents you from showing your face on camera?
What'd she say?
And that's when the kind of response I received, which normal. And I told her that, hey, look, it took me 35 years, probably 25 let's exclude childhood. But it took me a lot of years for me to say, okay, enough is enough. I'm going to appear on camera because, I tried this many times. I remember probably 10 years ago when the first like YouTube thing come about, I was, oh, I want to do this. And I bought a camera, put it and start recording. And I look at myself and I hated those videos. I never published them. And so a lot of people are in that phase where they hate the way they sound, hate the way they look on camera. They don't know what to say. They cannot find their tone or their voice. And a lot of us have a lot of insecurities. I mean, right now I don't know how I look, and I don't know if I look good, if I don't know if I sound good, if I say the right things. You always have these doubts in your mind. Would people pay attention? Would people listen to me? And I think the biggest shift was that this is a muscle, and that's what was my response to her, is that public speaking, and which I think what we're doing is public speaking. We are recording ourselves on camera, and that's a form of public speaking. And what we're doing is public speaking, which requires you to master that skill. And it's a skill. And I gave her the example of that you don't go to the gym one day and think, okay, I'm going to lift 300 pounds. This doesn't work this way. You go to the gym first and you start working out, and then consistent effort, improvement, little by little. Then you start seeing results, you start seeing your body work, and that's how you do it. That's how you grow. And likewise, creating content with you video for your company, for your services, for your business, for your personal brand even is a skill that you need to hone day in and day out. It doesn't come naturally to you. You have to keep working on it. And there's no escape to it. Don't think that AI is going to come and replace you, because it's not. It's going to provide a version of you maybe, but the more the internet gets crowded with AI bots and avatars and stuff, the more important that we show our humanity, the more important that we basically still have a presence, because otherwise we will be nobody very soon. If we don't have presence, physical presence as humans, the internet is going to be filled with bots. So there's a lot of layers to it, but in principle, we have to be on camera. There's no doubt about it.
Wow. Mic drop. That was
Please don't
so
drop. This is an
good.
expensive mic.
Not this mic, the other mic. Wow, that's really good, and you touch on a very sensitive topic. So many of us, myself included, I think I mentioned this episode 1. I was too afraid to start my own thing. It wasn't until I saw you, and I saw you pushing it, I saw you doing the work. You helped to lead that way, but I saw you even at the beginning, you were not comfortable with your own voice. You were not comfortable speaking to the camera, and you pushed yourself and you made yourself go out there. And that's why I'm here with you today, right? Because I also am afraid. I'm nervous as to what is the audience going to think of me? Are they going to hate me? Are they going to make fun of me? Do I have something that I'm unaware of that is eventually going to make me super insecure, right? But at the end of the day, just putting ourselves out there and trying, that's that's really what matters, and that's what counts at the end of the day. So I'm glad that I'm here doing it with you, and it's okay if we make fools of ourselves a little bit, right? At the end of the day, life is not to be taken too seriously, and we're just hoping that, you know, the way that these participants should be thinking about when they're in front of the camera is they have something important to say, and they need to share it with the rest of the world. That's what matters. It's not about them. It's about what they can share, what they can teach, what they can expose to the rest of the world that could be useful to somebody out there.
I love that. Absolutely, you're right. And everyone has a unique story. Last week we told your story, which is amazing to a lot of people. It's very inspiring, and I'm sure everyone's listening to this have their own unique story, their own data stream of events that took place in their lives that shapes who they are. And that uniqueness is very important to be documented and to be leveraged, because it tells a unique story for that person. Um, and it helps connect people. People connect to stories from the beginning of time. They used to gather, even cavemen used to gather around the fire and tell stories. And actually, even a lot of our religions today are a result of that. They've been stories being told to each other over and over, even before writing was invented, right? So people connect to stories, and when you have a story, you shouldn't be shy away from telling it because the world needs it. The world needs your story. And how about if you have a business? That's double reasons for you to be on camera. I believe that every single human being should tell their story on a forum like a podcast like this, or just record by themselves and tell the story to the world, because humanity is such an incredible thing. And, I think the more people add to that knowledge base of human experience, that's something very important for us all. But if you're a business owner, you have an added reason for you why to be on cameras, because it's a scale thing. You can be a great business person. When I meet you in person, I love to work with you. But I'm just one person. How many people can you meet in person? Maybe like if you go out every day, you can probably meet 10, 20 people every day and shake hands with and talk to. Well, okay, 20 people every day. This is if you are a master at this thing. But
A master
a
communicator,
master networker or whatever. But
but it's
then
still so limited.
still very limited. With one video, you can reach 100,000 people. Like, for example, our channel has 175,000 people watching it. So just imagine the scale of that. It's incredible. And it's bringing a lot of fruit, and it will continue bring fruit, because when you record one video, that's time is done. And that time is still living on the internet. It's still gathering views on the internet. But when you go to a networking event, as soon as you leave that networking event, you're not going to get more people to know about you because it's over. But the video is on the internet indefinitely. So people are going to come and find it and over and again. And then, you're reaching more and more people. So it's very effective medium for sure.
I agree with you. It's like a compound view. The more people that watch it, the more exposure it's going to get, which is going to bring even more people, and eventually what your message, whatever it is that you have to say, is going to reach out to somebody that you've never met, that you could never even imagine.
Yeah, the video is that's I think we've built our company on video. I think this is the era of video. Anyone can create videos. Everyone should create and must create videos. And so we are only an accelerator, an amplifier, and we wanna do video at the highest level. We wanna do video that you're gonna be proud of. This this video is 4K quality. The backdrop is very well thought of. The lighting is everything is in place. We have three massive lights. As you see on your camera, for example, you have a light behind you that showcases your head. So that gives like 3D effect. You have a light facing you from one side to show you that kind of like it makes something more interesting, the picture more interesting and more full. And there's a light in front of you as well to, flatten everything out, make it more flattering. So this is science and art. There's acoustic panels in this studio. These are dynamic microphones who are able to zone out any external noise that are connected to a high quality mixer. Then we take all of these videos and we edit it with professional editors. So all what we're doing is helping entrepreneurs deliver video at the highest level with little investment of their time and their money. If you think about it, it's like what we offer is very affordable to a lot of business.
It's very affordable, and it's really a done for you business, because we're talking about fear earlier, right? People are already nervous, they're already scared, they're already overthinking about what it is that they're going to be saying and sharing. And so here comes us, right? Here comes Naja, helping to create the questions. You help, you go over things with them. You give them techniques and tools so that to calm down that nervousness. You create the space for them where it's already very relaxing, very calming, and also high quality, as you were sharing earlier. And so it takes away that additional step needed where people are just not going to take that leap. They're not going to take that jump. The easier it is to do, the more likely someone will just do it. It's kind of like going to the gym, right? If you already wear your clothes the night before and you have your shoes right there next to you, right? You're more likely to go to the gym and you have your keys right there next to you. You're more likely to go to the gym that next morning than if you have to go figure out what it is that you're gonna wear, find your socks, find your shoes that you might have put somewhere anywhere in the house, try to find your keys. There's too many steps, and it makes it inconvenient, and it makes you less likely to just want to get up and go to the gym, right? So similarly, this is just a done for you method where you don't even have to worry, you don't even have to think. All you do is show up. And that is what we call luxury, right? That is what we call, creating a high level standard for ourselves so that the guest doesn't have to worry about anything and they can just show up to do what they were meant to do in the first place, which is show off their personalities, explain the why behind their business and get people to come and visit.
Absolutely. I cannot say it better than what you did. And for the entrepreneur, it's always a choice between time and money or money. It's a choice between time or money. If they have the time, I always say, if you're just starting out and you have zero income, don't come to us because you have a lot of time and you have no money. So, I mean, we are a business. So we charge for a service, but you have a lot of time, so you can do a lot of these things yourself. This is how I started. I started doing videos and doing the editing myself, and doing it in my bedroom, and things slowly start to hone the skills, evolve, and so on. And if you're just starting out and with zero money, I'm not recommending us at all, actually. So, but if you're a busy running your business, you have some success and you want to scale, right? You're busy guy or girl, you're in the midst of the trenches, calming fires every day, doing what entrepreneurs do. If this is you, you don't have time to worry about social media. Let us handle that. That's basically the message. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So
Yeah.
true.
So you come, we put it on your calendar one Saturday every month. We have a package actually for that. One Saturday every month. You come, you record for 2 hours, and you leave, and you have a full month of content for you on social media. This content is living, is gathering the views, is progressing, is moving ahead, and you have everything done for you for just 2 hours of your time. And time is the most expensive asset you own.
Absolutely. I love it. Uh, Thank you for sharing all of that.
Thank you for asking.
Okay, so you mentioned the workshops earlier, and I know that you're doing workshops throughout the Inland Empire. You even done workshops in, I think, like San Diego and in the LA County areas. Tell me a little bit about your own workshop. How do you envision it being? And what is the purpose of it? What value will you be bringing or will we be bringing to these awesome workshops?
Yeah, so I've been giving a lot of workshops for the SBDC throughout the Inland Empire. And my zone of genius, our zone of genius, is related to marketing. I realized that marketing on a tight budget is what we specialize in. It's basically trying to be as efficient as possible with your marketing dollars. Of course, we're targeting companies that have anywhere between probably 5 to 100 employees. This is kind of the small business is a big word, but this is kind of our niche of small business. A lot of professional services, a lot of uh, high ticket businesses. This is where we specialize in. And these are the type of businesses that require a lot of research from the customers before they buy. Of course, we love e-commerce, and if you want to sell toilet paper, yeah, we can help you with some strategies in terms of marketing, but it's not where we really add true value. We add true value for those who have high ticket um, services or high ticket products where people need to research the company before they make a decision. And so what we intend to deliver with these workshops is in-depth dive into their business. And they should go out and leave that space with a solid plan of what they're going to be doing. That's what we promise them to achieve. And again, they can do it with or without us. So my main goal is with these workshops that we're going to launch with Parrots Lab is to clients or entrepreneurs will go there or leaders will go there and they will come out with a clear plan of how they want to tackle their marketing. And that plan is going to return so much dividends for them down the line. And they have the choice whether they want to hire us to accelerate or they want to do it themselves. It's totally their choice. There's no sales pitch there. The workshops is more about, okay, this is how you should go.
These are the tools, these are the resources, and let me show you how to do it. But if you want us to do it for you because you're busy or you have too many businesses or too many things that on your hands already, we can take this and provide you this service seamlessly.
Exactly. And it's going to be cheaper than you hiring the team yourself, training them. Kind of like, instead of having a CMO and a team of people executing the work at the highest level, well, you can outsource that. And that's how you hire us and you get the value. But again, it's not about us. It's about you leave that room with a solid plan that will make you money, whether you implement it with or without us.
Yes, and so we have so much to share, so much more to share, and we're really excited to be sharing the dates soon as to when our this workshop is going to be happening. We'll have some really like some top-notch experts. Obviously, we have Naja here who's going to be leading. I'll be assisting and helping out, but you're going to be wowed with the amount of knowledge that you receive during this workshop.
Yeah, we look forward to that.
Yes. Couple more questions for you. So this week, and I'm gonna make it a little bit about myself right now. This week, you showed me how to use QuickBooks and how to do invoicing. How did you learn it yourself? How did you come up with it? Because when you showed it to me, it was already mostly done. You've obviously gotten really good at doing it yourself. And now you're delegating it to me, but it's not something that you would delegate if you didn't know how to do it yourself. How do you learn it? Why is a tool like this, and not necessarily just QuickBooks, but why is it important to make sure that your whole life is in order?
Yeah, I haven't done bookkeeping in the first year and a half probably of the entire entrepreneurship journey. Uh, and I've been always bad with numbers. So I'm more the production. I will produce the thing, but I would not take care of the numbers. But I know that the numbers, if you don't know the numbers, you're not going anywhere. So I realized at some point I have to take care of the numbers. It's been in the back of my mind, um, and then I did a lot of research. And then right now in the U.S., there are, I mean, QuickBooks have that market dominance in terms of software. right? In terms of accounting, bookkeeping software, QuickBooks is number one by far. There is another one called Wave App. I would say it's the second. It's cheaper than QuickBooks as well, but it has less functionality than QuickBooks. But the thing is, having the software and learning how to use it is a completely different thing because accounting is a profession. There are so many experts. I don't claim that I am one of them. I happen to learn from some coaches and consultants in that space. Shout out to many of my SBDC colleagues there, and some clients. And so basically, learning financial statements, understanding what does profit means, what does account receivable means, what does invoice mean, what does bill. There are a lot of principles that are basic. You understand that, okay, well, you create an invoice for a client so that they can pay you for a service. And then, by the end of the month, by the end of the quarter, you will generate some sort of financial statements. We call them profit and loss and balance sheets. Balance sheets is more like a yearly thing, just to understand like how your net worth is moving. But then the profit and loss, you need to know like where your money is coming from, where is money coming from, where is money going to, and understanding the difference between them and how to optimize. You can learn from the profit loss statement to cut down on certain type of expenses. It kind of informs your decision making. You have a clear picture of where your business is going and where you need to allocate. I read a recent book called Profit First. It's a beautiful book, and I recommend it to everybody. It talks about how, again, allocation. Every month when you work, you have to allocate some money for profits, some money for taxes, because you would have to file taxes at some point. And so you don't want to be surprised by the end of the year. Oh, shoot, I have to pay this money in taxes, right? So you have to calculate that ahead of time and be prepared so that when tax season come, you're able to pay your taxes without any surprises.
That it's good for you to share that because I'm a lot newer to this than Naja is. And so I'm really grateful that you're sort of taking me by the hand and guiding me and showing me what to look for, what to do. And I've just got to say I'm so proud that I've been able to learn QuickBooks so quickly.
I mean, define learn. She learned how to invoice.
Okay, fine. I learned how to invoice, but still, I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that.
Yeah. No,
Thank
no, you're a fast learner, I would say. You're a
you.
fast learner. And, it's everything. I don't claim that I know a lot more than you do in QuickBooks. It's just, we learn that we do something called reconciliation, which means that the bank statements and your accounting statements should match somehow. And the way we do it is by, okay, every transaction, we put it in a certain category: financial category, accounting category. And there are specific accounting categories that are like expense and all sorts of different financial categories that I am not an expert in. But we're working on it. As long as money is documented, I think a lot of business owners, they fail when it comes to money, is because either they mix their business account with their personal account. That's a big no-go. Imagine the business money is mixed up with your personal money, with the grocery shopping and oh my God. I mean, good luck. Imagine one day you want to sell your company and there's auditors that are going to come to your company and audit your books. And your books are personal account, personal expenses, and business expenses at the same time.
Oh my goodness.
It's going to be a nightmare.
All right, well, you heard it here. Don't do that. Do not mix your personal and your company expenses, please.
Please. I mean, yeah, it should be common sense to a lot of people, but yeah, a lot of people do it. A lot of people fall It's so convenient to spend money from the personal account and take money from the business. Oh, we know a lot of people who take money from the business. That's also bad because when you take money from the business to pay yourself, you know, that's money is hard to track. Where is this money going? But if you assign yourself a monthly compensation as an owner, say, okay, I'm gonna take $1,000. I'm gonna take $3,000 every month as my compensation
Or
for
like your
running the
salary.
salary.
Hmm.
And so you take that money, you drop it into your personal account, then you spend from that money. But imagine if you have a business bank account and then you go to Costco and you're like, oh, okay, let me use my business account.
Hair, nails, all of this stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We're in a mess already.
that's not good. That's
Yeah.
not good.
So,
So before I let you go, I know I've asked you some questions and you've answered them really well. What are you looking forward to for your next week, this next week?
so we're running some advertising for our the ads that we run last week. So we recorded some ads last week after our podcast session. So we're gonna run those this week. The editor did a great job in making them look great. So we're running those ads and hopefully we can talk to some really cool clients coming up.
That is very exciting. Yes. Last week, Naja and I did those ads and we're making it a little bit of a friendly competition as to who gets the most views. And so, yes, that competition is ongoing and we'll let you know next week who won.
Oh yeah, I think this coming week she's gonna win. She has a better ad. She came up with the script and we recorded it and it's super good. I think she's gonna win that, but you know what? That's the public decide. So I'm gonna put the way this competition works is that your ad and my ad are going to go with similar budgets and similar everything. The only difference is gonna be us. So the same caption, the same call to action, the same link, the same everything. The only difference is that your video versus my video.
Game on.
And we put the same amount of budget. Let's say this ad is spending $100 a day, $100 for you, $100 for me. And then we analyze, okay, how many, we call it them click-through rate. How many people saw your ad and decided to click versus how many people saw my ad and decided to click. And that's kind of the determinant of the creative. Is the creative good enough? And so the creative means the video. And so we can determine which video is more effective at making people click.
Oh,
Is
I'm
that what
so
we
excited to see. I'm so excited.
Oh, you know who joined also the competition?
Hmm.
My new copywriter. I told you about the new guy we are using for copywriting. He's really smart, and he's writing also another script. And he said, "Okay, I'm gonna, but with we will record it, but it's his script. So we will record his script and see if he's gonna perform better."
I'm
All
excited.
right. So are you ready to record?
I'm so ready.
Awesome. So we'll
Well,
leave you guys and we'll start recording. All
yes.
right.
And don't forget, this is Taking the Leap, and we are done with episode 6. Boom! Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next week.